Today we're going to talk about the Task Alpha Kyoceras. We're going to show a couple different machines. We've got a color device here, and then we've got the larger black and white device. We're going to show how they're similar, and then the few things that are a little bit different. We're going to go relatively quick because we don't like long videos. So on the device, document feeders, obviously are on the top, they're the same. As you go through the paper trays, we've got multiple paper trays that can handle different sizes up to 12 by 18. These top two trays are adjustable. When we get into the bottom trays, these trays here are only letter and they're large capacity. Okay? If you've got a lot of paper and you do a lot of volume, you can add a large capacity tray on the side. As we walk through the device, we've got the dock here, like we said, we got the paper trays here, we got a staple finisher here. In this machine, we have the same thing, dock feeder, paper trays set up the same, but we have what's called an internal stapler. They do the exact same, with the exception that this device over here handles more volume. You can see the large tray handles more volume. Now, with the internal stapler, we can't put as much paper on there. With the external stapler, we have the additional option to add trifold and booklet, right? So in school districts, pamphlets, brochures, things like that, that's where that type of solution is used. If we walk through the functions as we're using the device, we got the dock feeders, we got bypass trays. So if we've got envelopes, we've got special media, things of that nature, both devices have that. Both devices from a paper jam situation is going to open up on the same side. All the screens are going to walk you through tab A, this, touch this. Blue is your friend. And anytime you see something yellow, that's the diffuser. It's a little bit hot. Stay away from that. So that's the external piece of the machine. We're also going to show the toner. Toner here has a lock on the larger device, right? You just flip the lock here, and then when you pull this out, this is actually where a jam could be if it was passing through here. But again, the machine will tell you about that. The screen is adjustable as you see me move that. I had to get that out of the way. And this particular device, same type of thing. The toner that I showed you on that one, the toner is here. The biggest difference between these two devices is this big device has a waste toner overflow right here. Okay? This toner, or this waste toner, will actually fill up. And as it fills up, it's going to give you an alert that it's almost empty, or it's almost full. At that particular time, we need to make sure you have an extra one because in this case, it's not something that we can manage because it doesn't tell us when it's almost full. It only tells you guys on the screen. On this device, when this black toner comes out, it's actually your new waste toner bottle. So I would pull that out, and down here, you can see that's the actual same toner cartridge. So every time you take out the black toner, you take out the waste toner and replace it with the empty black toner cartridge. You don't wait for that one to get full because this one's always your backup. You'll never fill that waste toner if you replace that every time. It's one of the biggest things we get calls on, right? So as we navigate through the machine, we're going to talk about some of the features. With paper cut, if you have paper cut, you're going to log into the device and there's a red dot here, right? I badge in. Looks like my badge isn't working on this one. Let's try this guy over here. There's my badge in. And at this point, we've got options. If I would have sent print jobs, I would go to print release. If I had jobs, they would line up. Let's go back. Patch back in. Device functions is taking us to the actual copier. Once we get to the copier, at this time, this is where users for the quick and easy, one-sided, we touch that, take it to two-sided. Pretty simple. If we want to continue through these tabs, we've got finishing, right? So we've got staple, we've got offset stack, we've got other features. We're not going to talk about all those, but normally two-sided staple, sorting, things of that nature, that's what most people are using. You can get more advanced as we go through all of these things. Right? So there's a lot of different things that you can do with these devices. But in the beginning, we normally see most people use, that's why they call it quick setup, two-sided. We got zoom, black and white or color. Pick your selection at that point. And if you select that, anytime that you pick color, always select auto. You select auto because it recognizes if it's a color page or a black and white page. If you use full color, it's going to make your black and white prints with all 4 colors, like marketing black. You don't want to do that because it wastes money unless you're doing something for marketing. So copy functions, send functions. This is like a scan to email thing, and then fax if the fax is ready to go. So I'm gonna log back out of the system because I want to show you something if you're on paper cut. Once I badge back into paper cut, it knows me. So if I do go to the scan feature, you can see scan to email, and if we have you set up, you can do scan to Google Drive. But if I go scan to email, because it knows who I am, it's going to say the email and it's ready to go. Now we've got it set. It's telling you what it is right here. You've got other settings. So if you want to change the settings, like you've got a two-sided document, it's landscape or portrait, legal, ledger, all that type of stuff. Most important is this DPI, which is the dots per inch. That's the quality. We have it set at 300. That's standard. You can go up to 600. So the more you go up in scanning dots per inch, the larger the file's going to be. So we start at 300 because we don't want your files to be too big. TIFF, JPEG, but most people are using PDFs today. So at that particular time, we're going to log back out because that's your scanning. And when I log out, the screen now doesn't know who I am. Again, touch the red light, I badge in, and I'm good to go. So again, just to get to the device functions, which is copier, here we are. Now we can scan from this feature, but if I do the scanning, which is sending from here, at that point, I actually have to put in my address entry. So I have to tell it who I am. We always recommend, if you got paper cut, to just use the scan feature from that paper first screen that I had just showed you. So let's go back and touch that one more time. And then you're off and going, so you don't have to input anything. So we're going to log back out so you guys can continue to watch how this works. That's it. Print release. When we talked about this print release, let me touch on the way that some people set up print release. If we do Find Me Print, most people are used to printing to a dedicated printer. With Find Me Print, you just print to your print driver, and if you have this device or this device, when I badge in, it's going to know where I'm at, and based on my print jobs, they will all line up there. You'll have the option to actually delete some, so if you make a mistake or you printed it twice on accident, or any of those types of things, you can delete those, which is kind of nice because most people just send multiple print jobs when they're doing things, right? So as we go through the device here, again, the staplers, you can see the difference between the two staplers. That's the difference here. Now, if you wanted this larger stapler with the booklet on a color copier, we can add that. We just remove this guy here and add it to the side. In this case, we have 4 paper trays. 4, these are large capacity. If we want to, we could have 2 more of these trays that are more adjustable, but it doesn't have the same capacity. That would replace these here.